Have you ever had a moment where time just seemed to disappear? Perhaps you were watching ocean waves or you got caught up in some music you love. Well, that moment was presence, and most of us are starving for it. So in today's episode, we're going to learn three things. 1. What is presence? 2. How do we know if we are present? And 3. How can we live more in that space? So stay tuned because this is going to be really interesting. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Roy and I create daily videos to help you lead a calmer, clearer and more aligned life. Today we're going to be discussing presence, and in particular three things. Firstly, what is presence? Secondly, how do we know if we are present? And thirdly, how can we live more in a present state? So let's dive in. So firstly, what is presence? Now there are two different types of presence. There's the presence from the individual mind. That's like a flashlight. If you think of a flashlight, it's quite narrow, focused, and it's quite useful. But then we've got the universal mind, which is discussed by the works of Sydney Banks in the Three Principles. And that's like the sun, basically embodying everything and giving us a clear view of our whole identity. You can also think of this as a mountain in all sorts of weather. The mountain is presence, and then thoughts and everything else that's going on is the weather systems around it, but presence remains where it is. So how do we know if we are present? We don't think presence, we notice it. So when we are present, time softens, we get breath awareness, perhaps judgment fades, and our reactivity to things lessens. Now you can think of this like muddy water. If you scoop up some muddy water from a pond, you can't see through it. But then if you leave it to one side and let it settle, it suddenly becomes clear. So I've got a question for you. If you just stop and ask yourself, am I thinking or am I aware that I'm thinking? Do you see the difference there? Let me know in the comments how you get on with this, because it's a really simple and effective exercise to see if you're present. Now, another example of this is Eckhart Tolle in The Power of Now. He says to stop and look for your thoughts, like a cat looking through a mouse hole but not reacting, which I thought was a really great metaphor as well. So we'll move on briefly. How can we access presence? Now, presence isn't something that we achieve, it's something we return to. So ask yourself right this moment, what am I thinking of right now, without judgment? Now there are several ways you can do this. As I said, you can sit and look for your thoughts without judgment. Or another practice that I like to do is a nervous system regulation. Now you can do this with other people, a group, or just another person. And what that does is you sit in presence of the other person. It's kind of like a meditation. It's called a mini from another community that I was in. And it's actually the reason that I've done this video today, because I was listening to The Power of Now and then I did one of these exercises and I just thought, this is a great video to make. So if you want to know more about that, let me know in the comments or get in touch on my socials. I'd love to run through it with you. It's really simple, but so effective. I don't know how I would get through my days, most days, without that exercise. Now I know this is probably a lot of information to take in, but I'd just like to do a brief summary. Presence is who we are beneath the noise. As Pema Chodron said, you are the sky and everything else is the weather. Now if you enjoyed this video and it hit something in you, why not share it with a friend and give it a like just so we can get the message out. I also invite you to subscribe to the channel and check out my other videos which are on a wide variety of spiritual subjects. I'd just like to say thank you for watching and I hope you have a great day.